أهلا بكم مشاهدينا
Our
نحييكم
viewers, we salute you for one of the most important places of our army, from the land of the Third Field Army, where the improving of efficiency is being done. One of the formations of the Third Field Army is being improved, and the war combats will be inspected. All of its efficiency were improved, and they were provided with the best weapons, though they're able to do their jobs and protect the Egyptian borders strategically. They will work there, and they will use those updates and upgrades to do their job and combat under any circumstances. Here from the land of the Third Field Army, the lineups are appear in front of you, so the President Abdel Fattah Sisi will be able to inspect them and inspect all the implementation. With him is the Minister of Defense and Major General Osama Harb and all the commanders of the main units. This inspection and this implementation comes at a time where we celebrate the October 50th anniversary and this glorious win. We will talk about this over and over again, about our win, our victory, and the Third Field Army. The Third Field Army, one of the most important points for victory, especially the 4th Armored Division. They are the protectors of the Third Field Army, and they were heroes. All of this is written in history, which led to the glorious victory of October. We'll talk about this day and night due to its importance. Today, we witness with you the lineup of the various units in the inspection of the war inspection lineup in Suez. Behind us are these lineups from various units participating in this celebration. It must be pointed out that the 4th Armored Division played an important role, like we mentioned before. It's a main unit of the Third Field Army. They are the crown jewel of the armed forces. Their men are truly heroic and efficient. The 4th Armed Division were established in the 60s and they took part in many wars, including 1973, where we gloriously won, and they also were part of the Kuwait war. They were ahead of the lineup, and it did all its work with 10 hours before time. They have a glorious history. They're truly heroic, which is evident in the 6th of October victory. The 4th Division include one of the best combat formation. It's the first established division that used the Ibrahim M1A1 armor. It had a great role in winning our wars and helped the Third Field Army win. Now talking about the 6th of October victory. We are truly will celebrate for all of the months. The Third Field Army and this division had great roles, the first of which is helping winning the 6th of October. They helped our units cross the canal. They fought in different war and they stopped the enemy, the Israelis, from entering Ismailia and Suez, and took a great battle. This division stopped four Israeli divisions and stopped them from entering Suez and Ismailia. This unit, this division were led by Major General Mohammed Abdelaziz, who died 2 weeks ago. He witnessed our celebration for the 50th anniversary of the 6th of October victory. The Major General Qabil was truly heroic, and His Excellency President Sadat, former president talked about, and he told him, Egypt is truly need of you, Abdelaziz, and Major General told him, we will sacrifice our lives, me and my men, for Egypt. We are here to witness this amazing formation and these amazing forces lined up behind me to send a message in Egypt and outside of how developed Egypt is in providing equipment for the 3rd Field Army, the 4th Armored Division, Lanza, where we are standing right here, is participating in many armed maneuvers of the armed vessel, like the Bright Star Badr 2014. For example, this emphasizes that the armed forces are up to date in all fields and equipment and combating Egyptian forces, as well as all the developments regarding the authorities here near in the Liwa Abdelaziz unit, where there is a civil complex and living complex full of up-to-date equipment. We are talking about a full set of measures and lineups of the Egyptian armed forces, the lifeline of the nation and the protectors of the land. Every inch of Egypt will be safe thanks to our armed forces. Long live Egypt. May it always be strong and safe, and long live our army. May it always protect us, and long live our people. May they always be united behind our leadership. We are waiting for the presence of President Sisi in this precious land in Egypt to check the upgrading of efficiency of the 3rd Field Army and the war inspection lineup of the Field Army, which is one of the most important units in our armed forces while we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the glorious 6th of October victory.
عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس
فتح
الجمهورية
السيسي,
القائد الأعلى
the
للقوات
Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and the President of Egypt.
حرس الشرف الدوران للخارج للخارج دور.
بسم الله
In the name of
الرحمن
Allah, the
الرحيم.
most merciful, the most compassionate, Your Excellency, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, President of Egypt, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, August gathering.
تحكي لنا سجلات
The
التاريخ
history tells us a
وأدبيات
story.
الزمان أن الضعف
It
هو
tells
دعوة
us that
صريحة
weakness is an
للعدوان
invitation for
وأن
aggression,
القوة المستندة
and
إلى
that the
الحق
power
والعدل
based on
هي
truth
الضمان
is the
الوحيد
only guarantee
لتحقيق
to
السلام.
achieve peace.
وقد خاضت مصر معركتها
Egypt
الخالدة في
went through a
أكتوبر
war in 6th of October
73
in
لاستعادة
1973
أرضها
to
السليبة.
return
تلك
its
الحرب
land,
المجيدة
this
التي
glorious
أثبتت
war
أن
that
حقوق الشعوب
that
لا
made
يمكن
sure
أبدا
that
أن تسقط
and told
بالتصادم.
everyone that the
فكان
right of all
انتصارنا مدويا
people can be
ثم
overlooked and the right of
شرعنا
territories
في
can be
تحقيق
overlooked. We
السلام
gloriously won
الذي
and we sought
اعتبرناه
peace,
خيارنا
which
الاستراتيجي
we considered our
إيمانا
strategic
منا
choice as we
بأحقية
believed
الشعوب
that
بالعيش
all nations
بأمن وأمان.
have the right to live in
لكن
peace and
هذا
prosperity.
المنحى الذي
This
سلكناه لا
approach
يمكن أن
cannot
يقف عائقا
be a
أمام
hindrance
تعظيم
towards
قدراتنا
upgrade our
وترسيخ
capabilities and
عقيدة
capacities
انتباهنا.
and entrench
واليوم
our
ومن
values.
أحد تشكيلات
Today,
الجيش الثالث
one of the
الميداني
lineups and
من
formations
الفرقة
of the
الرابعة
3rd Field
المدرعة
Army and the
جئنا
4th Armed
هنا
Division,
كي نكون
we came here
شهودا
to
على
witness
استعداد رجالها العالي
their readiness of its
وانضباطهم
men and
الذاتي
their discipline,
وروحهم المعنوية
as well as
التي
their high
تكاد
spirit
تصل إلى
that
عنان
almost
السماء.
reaching
وهم
high levels.
يصطفون الآن في
They line
عزة
up here
وشموخ
holding their head
متأهبين
high, ready
ومستعدين لتلبية
to
نداء الوطن
do their
متى
duty for its nation
تصلبت الضرورة
whenever
ذلك.
necessary.
الحضور الكريم
August
مع
gathering,
كلمة اللواء أركان حرب شريف
now
جود
the word
العرايفي
of Major
قائد
General
الجيش
Sharif
الثالث
Ghodla
الميداني.
Araifi, commander of the 3rd Field Army. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, most compassionate. The speaker is speaking a verse of Quran. Your Excellency, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Commander-in-Chief of the Army, August Gathering, truly we are welcome and we are happy and honored to welcome you between your children, the men of the 4th Armored Division, one of the units of the 3rd Field Army. They bear the responsibility, as well as the rest of the armed forces, the protection of the homeland and the institution and its great people. August Gathering, sometimes we must stop to honor a great event. Our event that we would like to honor is the 6th of October of 1973. We are honored to meet in one of the lands of the armed forces with people wrote in history one of the greatest victories and glorious world. Those who study history won't have to look far to know that those who are strong can't be aggrieved and can't be threatened. We are living in an area full of hardships, and looking at our area where we live, we made sure that we update our capabilities to be able to face all the challenges that can affect the security of Egypt. Everyone knows that the last couple of years witnessed the improvement of the equipment of the armed forces and the training of them, which affected greatly the capabilities and the capacities and the readiness of the armed forces. This was evident in the fight against terrorism and destroying its infrastructure. From here, I would like to especially thank the men of the 3rd Field Army who proved that time can't affect the values and the readiness of the Egyptian soldier. The men of the 3rd Field Army here in Sinai destroyed all those who hoped to terrorize Egypt, and we won against them. Life became normal here again in this holy area of Egypt, which was fed by the blood of the martyrs who would like to salute for their sacrifice. They're now living peacefully in heaven. Your Excellency, President of Egypt, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, history will witness the Egyptian experience, which based on the Egyptian will that knew that their future will only be built by them. So Egyptians did their best to improve their life. All the world witnessed how Egypt was able to transform its life, moving from disasters and destruction into development. All the development we achieved was the basis for the new republic. It will be full of justice. Now, Egyptians know they are the focus of the Egyptian government and authority, and the mega project, which now implemented in many parts of Egypt, are evident that we are trying to improve the lives of everyone. The 3rd Field Army is standing before you to show their glorious history, years after years of sacrifices. And I, as a commander of this division, emphasizes and stresses that we are up to date regarding the combat and the readiness, and we are ready to do as all we can here or anywhere else. We will look towards the improvement of Egypt, and we will sacrifice our lives for Egypt, and we'll do all we can to train and we do this already, and we don't waste any time to improve our capacities. We have clear objectives and visions and work day and night to be the garden wall against all those who want to violate Egypt in the name of the Third Field Army. I would like to thank the authority and command of the armed forces for all their support, which helped us reach our combat capacities and high spirits. Your Excellency, your children lined up before you, from men of the 4th Armed Division and the rest of the men of the 3rd Field Army, promise you and Egypt, who put the responsibility upon us that they will be up to the task, and they will be loyal soldiers, and they will do all their best for their country. May our soldiers live strongly, and may God protect Egypt under your leadership, and peace be upon you. We are now witnessing a movie, a documentary prepared by one of the units of the armed forces called The Road to Victory.
القوات المسلحة المصرية.
The Egyptian armed forces, the high fence that protects the security and peace of the nation. In war and peace, we face challenges with the will and men who are up to responsibility, who did the best in critical moments. From the fortresses of the armed forces, we witnessed the 3rd Field Army, the army of values and challenges, and withstand they have long history of achievements and bright history. All of them were written by the men of the 3rd Field Army since its establishment in 7 September 1967. And the 3rd Field Army established the protection unit in Suez, which led to many losses for the enemy in the war of attrition. And when it was time for war on 6th of October 1973, and amidst the shouting of those who want to glory, the falcons of the air paved the way for our soldier and destroyed all the fortresses and the authorities, and the Egyptian armies started fire, one of the biggest since the World War, to pave the way for the soldiers. We crossed in historical time to destroy the Barleaf line. We crossed the Suez line and destroyed the Barleaf line, and we started to cross with equipment and soldiers to prove that the will of Egyptians is capable of destroying our enemies and make history. The men of the 3rd Field Army in the glorious war sacrificed a lot and did an amazing job with those who sacrificed their lives. The 7 October in the east, there were more than 30,000 fighters and 240 armor and tank. Many battles happened. We removed all the all the parts of the Parliament line, and we seized all the parts and all the fortresses of the enemy, and we destroyed their authorities, and Abraham Mank would kill the Third Field Army. Ladies and gentlemen, the army of the values that destroyed many Israeli equipments and many lives, they stopped the enemy from entering Egypt. Our command is to withstand the Israeli said that they occupied Suez. No, they didn't. We destroyed all the equipment that they tried to bring into Suez, and we stood our ground. The Israeli leadership themselves talked about the intensity of the war they had against the Third Field Army, and they admitted that they were defeated.
כניסה לעיר, היו כמה מוקדי אש שירו עלינו זמן לא יודע מה רציני, ליד המסגד, ברחוב הראשי, נפתחה אש תופת.
אחרי 2 דקות אני מסתכל אחורנית, אני רואה את המשאיות בוערות, ומבטים יורים אש לכוח של טנקים, נפגעו כ-200 טנקים, זאת אומרת, נשארנו עם שליש מכוח הטנקים בסיני. זאת מכה קשה לפי כל קנה מידה.
Critical moments in the Third Field Army started from the Eritrean War up to the glorious October War. The Third Field Army, their heads high. The Third Field Army were told that they were besieged, and all of this is false. They withstood their ground, and they wrote history, and they were victorious. They withstood their ground. We truly salute all of them, and we thank them in the name of all Egyptians. With the road to victory, the Third Field Army paved the way. The Fourth Armed Division played an important role. It's a critical force, and they truly had great battles, which had an amazing role in liberating Kuwait. They have glorious past and great present. Our armed forces are on the road to victory. They are improving their equipment to be able up to date in many fields with the many various resources for arming themselves. Their capabilities improve day after day, and now they have up-to-date on-land equipment. As well as naval ones. And the air ones. And in the air forces and air defense as well. All of this express the vision of the political authority to fight all all challenges in the strategic field. The Third Field Army did all they could to be able to be up to date in training and equipment and to improve the combat capacities to be up to date and ready. Here we witnessed the Force Armed Divisions, one of the units of the Third Field Army. They are highly equipped and ready for combat that befits its historic status. The commander of the armed forces supported fully the Third Field Army, so it will be able to reach its full potential and will be able to ready to do all its assignments. So they prove that the Third Field Army is the armor and the sword of the armed forces. I said this before, no one can violate Egypt directly. Why? For many reasons, on top of which is one of the most powerful army in the area. Our army is strong and the strength is based on its values. They have a long national history. The armed forces were gloriously victorious and they stopped any external interventions with all effectiveness and by sacrificing their lives to achieve victory.
التوجيه الطبوغرافي
The
وأوضاع القوات.
topographic and the formation of the units.
لواء أركان حرب
Major General Ayman Abdelmajid Abdin,
الرابعة المدرعة
head of the Force Armed Division
26/12/2022.
from 26/12/2022.
التوجيه الطبوغرافي.
The topographic formation,
في المشاهدة
the viewing point
31
231 south of the New Geneva Road for 2 kilometers
اتجاه الشمال
length
في
from
الاتجاه
the north where the arrow is pointing and along it
أهم الطرق الطولية.
one of the most important
يمين نقطة
road,
المشاهدة
the right, the vision point, 4 kilometers was Tabeid that starts from the New Geneva Road in the north up to the kilometer sign
القاهرة السويس جنوبا
from the Cairo Suez Road for 11 kilometers.
يسار نقطة المشاهدة
The left division point up to 8 kilometers. The 30th of June access that start from the international road from Bursaid north with this access with the 30th of June access. Its length is 94 kilometers.
أمام نقطة المشاهدة
In front division point with 2 kilometers
جنيفا الجديد
the New Geneva Road
قد من
that starts from the kilometer sign
القاهرة
43
وحتى طريق المعاهدة
all to the Mahda Road in the east.
وخلف نقطة المشاهدة وعلى
Behind the vision point with the length of 11 kilometers,
السويس
the Suez Cairo Road, which extends from Cairo from the west all up to Suez in east, the length of 132 kilometers.
أوضاع القوات
The formations of the unit,
اتجاه السهم رقم 1
the
وعلى امتداد
arrow
شارع
number
فارس
1,
المميز باللون الأبيض والأخضر
which is colored white and green, the length of 440 kilometers. The air defense forces will line up. Go ahead, Ayman.
في اتجاه السهم رقم 2
The arrow number 2, the
المميز باللون الأحمر والأسود
color of red and black, the length of 500 meters. The armory division is lined up. Go ahead.
السهم رقم 3
The arrow number 3 and 7
أشعة البيارق المميزة
this,
باللون الأزرق
with
الفاتح
the special
على مسافة
light green color and length of 550 meters.
الرابعة المدرعة
The 4th Armored Division is lined up.
وفي اتجاه السهم رقم 4
The 4th arrow
شعاع البيارق
showcases
البرتقالي وعلى مسافة
the lineup. It's orange and has length 450 meters. The armors
اتجاه السهم رقم 5
and tanks. The
المميز
5th arrow with the blue color
بالعناصر اللواء
line up the 6 mechanical units.
اتجاه السهم رقم 6
The 6th arrow with
المميز باللون
the color of red and length of 450 meters. We have the another tanks and armored unit, the 8th arrow with the color green and length of 500 meters. Line up the support units from the General Authority, and right before the vision point, the air forces are lined up.
وأمام نقطة المشاهدة وعلى كده
In front of the vision points on both sides, right and left, line
من الداخل
up from
كالآتي
inside to outside, the naval forces, the special forces,
القانون
the implementation of law forces,
الطبية
the doctor units. Go ahead.
تم تأمين منطقة اصطفاف الفرقة الرابعة
The 4th Armed Division was secured against any aggression according to the orders.
الفرقة الرابعة
The 4th Armed Division
عناصر الدعم
and support units are ready to implement any operation full of will.
شكرا يا فندم.
Thank you, thank you.
إن حرب أكتوبر المجيدة
The glorious October War changed history.
فهي ملحمة تجمعت
It's
فيها
a
أصعب التحديات
battle or
تحديات
full of challenges regarding planning to face one of the allegedly strongest armies. It was a critical war, and God was by our side. We were victorious. On the right, a formation of helicopters, the Gazelle helicopters, which carries the flag of Egypt and the armed forces flag and the main units and divisions flags as well.
دمت يا مصر
May Egypt live long and may your flag fly high
تزهو وتسمو في علاء
above
السماء.
all in the sky.
فعلى مر العصور كانت
Throughout
وما
the
زالت
history,
هناك رابطة
there have
كبيرة
always been a tie between the Egyptian army and its nation to defend
أكتوبر عام
our country. And in this
1973
October War 1973, the people stood by its army and supported them. On the left of the vision point, we see some of the equipments and weapons that were used in October and the naval forces. In front of the vision, in front of the vision point, we have the rocket B-15 that was used to destroy Eilat in 21 October in 1967. We have the Zodiac boats, rubber boats, and the delegate boats, and the driving equipments with closed circuits of fancy umbrella. the Air Force is in front of the vision point. There's a MiG-21 airplane that played an important and critical role in the air maneuvering in the October War, especially in Mansoura, the 14th of October 1973. The Air Defense Forces, the defenders of the sky. We have SAM-2 rocket, which is one of the rockets used in October. It's a medium-range rocket that is used to destroy the air targets nearby. We have a talk with three Russian rocket that was used and it targets air targets and one of the rocket walls with the truck with the SAM-6 launcher, the Russian one. It was used in 1973. It is one of the most important air defense systems. The land unit, the PK, an equipment Russian tank that was used in 1968. It has a high efficiency to be used in every type of land. The Topaz, the tank to deploy soldiers, it was used in 1973. It was designed to move the soldiers with the light equipment. BMP, a tank was used in 1970. It's one of the most important and high up-to-date tanks that was used in October War. It's used to fight from within the tank. It has high maneuver capacity and lightweight tanks. Tank P-34. It was produced in 1940 and it was used in 1955. It has a weight, it's a heavyweight and have the power of 120 horsepower. We have T-54, a Russian tank that was used in 1958. It has a weight of 36 tons and an engine of 520 horses. It was used in October War in 1973. T-55 tank, it's medium-range Russian tank. It's produced 1962 and it became part of the forces in 1965 and with 36 tons. However, Russian tank produced in 1965 is one of the highly advanced tanks used in October War. It became part of the forces in 1972 with the weight of 37 tons. The armories of tank of Howitzer 150 of the Russian one that was a part of the October War. It had two units with the shooting of the fortresses of the enemy. With the 100-meter and the Russian weapon, the 100 millimeter is the most common one for the irregular shooting. In October, the land forces used them, special 10 units. The Hound 240 millimeters and heavyweight Hound and 160 millimeters with the 5-kilometer range that was produced in 1943. We have the Howitzer M30 and the rocket system Malotika. It was Russian made. of the Hauser 122 that was used in October War. Now we have a rubber and wooden boat in the L. The rubber boat was used to go through the enemy forces. It was used to hold the 6 soldiers. We have the pump set that was used to destroy the Berlin line. It was used in the October War to open 86 holes in the Barlev wall in just 5 hours. In the front of the vision point, we have the Russian equipment that was part of the forces and was used for engineering capacities. It has the capacity of 100 meters in an hour. We have equipment of 60 tons. It was used in 1968 and it has 20 tons. It's Russian that was used to pave the way fastly. The supplies, we have one of the uniforms of the land units and the armed forces and miniature figures of the parachutes and the medium-range supplies that was used during October War. We have the support units, the cooking unit and an oven to produce bread on the field. It produced bread for the 4 lines. We have the mechanical fuel equipment. It's Russian and it was used in 1967. It was used in October War in the fuel pipelines. The police officers, we have Russian communication and English communication lines. It was used before the October War. It had great role to provide the support and to control the fight in many open frontiers, which led to the victory. Ammunition and weapons, the weapons that took part in the October War and has Hound 60 millimeter and 82 millimeter and B2 and B11 rockets. The political authorities made sure that the forces had the up-to-date equipment, which led to a tactical shift in the war, and it was one of the main reasons for the victory. The chemical warfare, we have the equipment of the chemical warfare are Russian-made. We have the single protection and the chemical indication and the smoke producing equipments. We have the Birdem. The Burton tank, it was used in 1969. It's a surveillance tank with a weapon, a highly effective weapon, and another weapon. It was used in the October War. You have the electronic warfare. The equipment of they're highly efficient remote and electronical equipment. After the October War and after 50 years, Egypt opened its doors to the world, and we diversified the resources of weapons. The authority of the armed forces, the directives and support of the political authority, they updated the equipment of the main units and the formations which had a great effect to revitalize the Egyptian army, so it becomes one of the top in the world. On the left, we witness some of the weapons used in the armed forces. The naval forces, we have the rocket Harpoon and the Italian-French automatic rocket. They're one of the most important ones used in the naval forces, and they're launched from ships. We have the SDV, and it's used to deploy soldiers and underwater. The air defense forces launcher, look at the Russian one of the most up-to-date equipment. It has high efficiency for maneuvering. It has the capacity to withstand any challenges. It can destroy 4 targets same time. The 4M rockets, it's Russian made. It can target moving aircraft, and it can destroy any opposing aircraft. The development of the air defense didn't just stop at the equipment. We have the YLC. We have the YLC. It's Chinese, Egyptian made, with a range of 200 kilometers. And forces 118M. It was used in 1980. It's very fast and it's a high maneuvering capacity in different lands. It has half-inch weapon and can help the soldiers. We have 530 tank. It's been used since the 80s. It can work in many fields. We've got M1. It has been used since 2016. It can protect the soldiers from explosives and bombs. It can deploy soldiers fastly and protect them. And BRCA-2, it's an American deployment tank that has been used in 2016. It's known as the land tank against explosives and bombs. Crocodile 1, it's an Egyptian-made tank that has been used in 2016. It was made to be one of the explosive to withstand explosive. Crocodile 2, it's an Egyptian-made tank. It has been used since 2016. It has been developed and armored with the most up-to-date weapons. Crocodile 3, a deployment tank that has been used since 2019. It's a tactical deployment tank with high maneuvering capacities. It was designed for reconnaissance and special forces. American launcher that has been used since 1989. It can target moving and still target special forces, parachute forces. Have 2 cars ready for deployment, which provide the parachutes the agility to implement all the operations. The weight can be up to 35 kilowatt TGL vehicles, one with the pyramid system to withstand the tanks. It has high capabilities to fight tanks in any situation and any electronic intervention. We have all of the 8 vehicles were used fully equipped with various weapons, so all those who are deployed can fight for a longer time. Now, in front, we have 3 different generations
المعدة GTE
of GTE equipment, Tanrak equipment, and Skyper equipment. The GTE is used in parachute unit since 2005. The Sniper is one of the most up-to-date equipment in the world. The commandos are heroes. Sandex, Swiss-made. It's a part of the commando unit and used for reconnaissance and search and rescue. And it has equipment that allow it to work in any type of land.